solidarity with the California Hunger Strikers and with Trayvon Martin. There are actions taking place in across the U.S., in the UK, Germany, Guyana, and other countries. We think more will come in.
Hello, all of you.
Hello. Closer, closer. Sarah, have it closer. Close, very close.
I would like to thank you, all of you, those are coming here to take the part of this meeting.
Closer, right up. It's all right, we
And also, I would like to say thank you, the people, those are prepared for this party to do this, to fighting for the justice. And I'm Mahdi Hash's mom, and my English is not that good, but I would like to say just a few words. And Mahdi Hash's mom, Mahdi, he came here when he was 6 years old. He was very young, and he never had any under the criminal records. And he wanted to back to home, to our country. And Mahdi is just visiting for his family and to see his original country when he grew up. And after that, anyway, before that, he got a lot of problems from the MI5 from here to say you have to work with us to inspire your community, Muslim community or Somali community or something like that. And he was refused always. And after the harassment, he went to Somalia. And now, at the end, they took from Somalia and grow up. They took his citizenship, and they allowed to the American people to take to America. And I don't know why. Here is a lot of prison. If they wanted to give him to take to the prison, and that's something is incredible, and we couldn't accept it at all. However, Mahdi, I didn't see him, and he missing about 5 months. We didn't know if he's alive or die. We tried to find him hardly, but it's very hard for us. And now, as we know that he's in Bristol, in America, in New York, and until now, it's about from December to now, I couldn't hear voice of my son. I couldn't see him. I couldn't contact him at all. And everybody can know how it's painful for the mother of the son or all the family. And however, we would like to say that we need the justice, which one we came here today, and that's the aim. Thing is, we come here, all of us, and all of us we come to different countries, different groups, and we are different situations, but our aim is one thing, is to get the justice.
Yes.
I would like something for Somali and I would like to say something for my community. And waxaan idin sheegayaa walaalayaal halkan anigu Mahdi Xaashi hooyadiisaan ahay. Waxaan u imi inaan kala qayb qaato dadweynaha meesha jooga ee isugu yimi kuwaas oo maaragtay ka gilgishay dhibaatada lagu hayo dadka aan cadaalada loo sameynaynin. Wadan kasta ha ahaadaan, dhinac kasta ha ka yimaadaan, dhibaatada ugu weyn waxay haysataa xagga kolba hooyooyinka. Mid xabsiga lagu qabsado, mid cilmiyeeda laga qariyo, mid isagoo weyn oo isagoo yar laga qariyo, dhibaatada ugu weyn hooyooyinka ay haysataa. Waana wax adduunka dhan wada taabtay dadka muslimiinta ah ama minority-ga ah. waxaan idin sheegayaa insha Allah taala haddii aan noqonin dad isku duuban, dad maaragtay isu gilgisha, dad ka qayb qaata qaybaha sidan oo kala ah oo meelaha loogu maaragtay dadka loogu sameeyo campaign-ka oo maaragtay dhibaatada laga hadlayo, waxaad ogaataan in qof walba maalintiisa la soo saarayo meesha ama ilmihiisa laga qaadayo ama laga qarinayo. Leeyahay waxa weeye meesha fishing baa jira, waa la fish garaysanaya dadka sida malayga ayaa loo doonayaa. hadduu yar yahay hadduu weyn yahayba, hadduu baby yahay waxba ma oga, laakiin hooyadiis yaabiis baa lagu dhibayaa in laga qaato. Ha shaqaystaan ama yay shaqaysanin, ama ha qaataan waxa la yiraahdo ayda loo yaqaan ama yay qaadanin. Dadku waa isku mid, wax xuquuqina kama jiraan. Dadka qaar baa yiraahdaa meelahan waa dimuqraadiyad, laakiin waxa noo muuqata inaan wax dimuqraadi aysan jirin. in uu jiro qodob la yidhaahdo equal opportunity, but it's not there, it's not working at all. Equal opportunity, they just write down 2010, but it's not working at all. We see, they do the white people, they do the black people, they do the Muslim people, all of them, we are same. But just the writing and reading is nothing. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Gultam.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that John McDonnell MP, who has been supporting the hunger striker Samuel Horinwa in Harmondsworth, sent his support to this protest. He hasn't been well, which is why we haven't heard more from him, but he's representing the brother and the other hunger strikers. And he was very upset, particularly about what's been happening with the vans, the government vans going around telling people to go home. And he said, when I come back in September, we must absolutely put an end to that.
Yes.
Which obviously we do intend to do.
Yeah, I must say that I forgot to offer the greetings that were sent by email from Red Thread Women in Guyana, who are fasting from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. tonight in solidarity with the hunger strikers and with justice for Trayvon.
Fantastic news, fantastic.
Hi, I'm Michael from the International Jewish Anti-Zionist Network. I just wanted to say a few things. It's just great that here in this protest we're putting together the Californian, the Guatemalan and the Palestinian hunger strikers. I think that's really the way to go. At Guantanamo, yeah.
Closer, hold it closer, Mikey.
Okay.
That's it, better.
I wanted to just emphasize that Israel and the United States collaborate on all kinds of things, not just weapons, which we might know about, but also policing and also prisons. So it's no surprise that the two regimes are very repressive, oppressive, and get everywhere. Also, it has been mentioned G4S, the killers of Jimmy Mabenga, who also run some of the prisons in Israel. They are really international, and we have to be really international to stop them.
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to mention also this pamphlet, Israel's Role in Worldwide Repression. Two things I wanted to say. One, Nina had spoken about the junta in Argentina, the repression there which killed, disappeared tens of thousands of people. What you might not know is that many of them were Jewish people, while at the same time the Israeli government was selling arms to the very Argentinian regime that was killing Jewish people. If you ever thought that Zionism and Judaism were the same thing, believe me, it's not. But also, as this pamphlet says, the Israelis were arming oppressive regimes all over the world. Other I want to mention is that Israel helped arm the Rwandan genocide.
Shame.
Now that really is a disgraceful thing. It's clear from this protest that prisoners, whistleblowers, conscientious objectors are giving us a lead about how to struggle. And it's not just that they're crucial, they're essential, and we should follow them because they are showing us what we must do in order to win against all the many injustices that we are facing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Michael. I think it is very important that this is an international support, an international action in support of the hunger strikers. And I wanted to just mention that there's a petition for Russell Maroon Shoatz, who's another brother who's been in solitary for many, many years. And we hope that you'll and on death row. And we hope you'll sign that petition, as well as, we always have Mumia Abu Jamal in our minds, because he's another organizer who's been on death row. He just got off death row recently, but has been in prison for a long time, and has been a real spokesperson for the movement inside and outside. Next speaker's Nikki.
Hi, my name's Nikki Adams. I'm from Legal Action for Women, and I wanted to say something about the situation of women prisoners here in the UK and internationally, but starting with the situation, let's start with the situation in the US, as part of this struggle. First of all, as Selma said, even though solitary confinement isn't used as much against women in the US, it is used against women. There's currently about 60 women held in solitary confinement in the US. This prison hunger strike follows a previous prison hunger strike, the Pelican Bay hunger strike in 2012, and a Georgia prison work stoppage in 2010, and a few others as well. And as a result of those previous struggles, a whole set of people did get out of solitary. They did win quite a lot of stuff from that hunger strike. And at least 7 women were released from solitary confinement as a result of those previous struggles, which is no small achievement. And a whole set, about 182 men got out of solitary confinement as well as a result. They also brought in, made changes that then of course are used against us. We have to keep up the struggle, otherwise every victory that we win is in danger of being used against us. But it was a very big achievement from those struggles. And we hope that this struggle, with the support from outside, publicising it, will be even more significant and will put an end to solitary confinement altogether. So with the situation of women here, about 60% of women in prison are mothers, and that is a really horrific statistic. It means that 17,000 children a year are separated from their parents by imprisonment. And we know that prison completely devastates families. And the people in the community, often the people that are keeping communities together, keeping families and communities together, if they're locked up, then the communities disintegrate. And then they wonder why children get into trouble, get into difficulties. And the other important thing about women in prison is that most are there for non-violent offences. And that's also really a scandal. There's been a massive increase in women's imprisonment in the last 10 years. And it's not going down, it's going up. I wanted to use this occasion to remember a very extraordinary woman, Pauline Campbell, whose daughter Sarah killed herself in prison, and she'd only been there a couple of days, and she should never have been locked up in the first place. And Pauline fought for a good couple of years to bring attention to what is happening to women in prison. And it was her work and the work of a few other very brave women, mothers mainly, who won the Corsten report recommendations that said that women's imprisonment should come to an end, that there was no excuse and no justification for locking up mothers and for locking up women who had committed no violent offence, and that instead there should be a proposal for small custodial units close to where women lived so that families were not torn apart by imprisonment. And those recommendations were made at the time of a Labour government and were ignored and have not been implemented yet. At the very least, that's what they should do. So I also wanted to say that women in prison are not victims. The way that people speak about women in prison is different from men. Men are the bad boys and women are the poor things, and that's not true. Women are fighting very, very hard, not only to survive themselves, but also to help other fellow prisoners survive. That's what we hear over and again. When women come out of prison, they say the first and often the only help they got was from fellow prisoners. Nobody in authority lifted one one finger, but who helped was their fellow prisoners. But also women are trying to keep their families together from the inside. We published a book called Jailhouse Lawyers, a book that was written by Mamir Abu Jamal, a man who was on death row for many years in Pennsylvania. It was edited by Selma James and published both in the US and in here, and it told the hidden story of prisoners who fight for justice from inside, who bring cases, legal cases, to overturn their convictions and to fight for better conditions inside and to challenge various illegalities. And it's a fantastic book. And when we first published it here, we went around trying to find jailhouse lawyers here. First of all, we were told there were none. It was a US thing. Then we were told that there was only white men, no black men were jailhouse lawyers, and by the time jailhouse lawyers started getting in touch with us, at least half were men of color. And then, of course, we were told there were no women. And in fact, we found women jailhouse lawyers in immigration detention centers. That's where they were doing some of their best work. And I'm sure there's many others. It's just that women's struggle is more hidden than men's. And because it sometimes doesn't take the traditional recognized form of struggle, it's not acknowledged as such. But we knew from that work, and we've heard since, that women are literally running whole households from inside prison, and that has to be acknowledged. And the increase in the imprisonment of women in this country, one significant group of women that have been looked up as sex workers. And the criminalization of sex workers is a massive industry. There's the whole prison, there's the probation, there's the rehabilitation, and it is an industry where many, many people are making a lot of money, increasingly private companies. And I'm also with the English Collective of Prostitutes. We're campaigning for decriminalization of prostitution to stop that kind of funneling of women into prison. And the other group that we know about from our Women's Centre, through the work of Women Against Rape, are women who have been imprisoned for so-called false allegations of rape, which is another hidden scandal where women come forward to report rape, the police sabotage their case, the investigation, or ignore their report, and then they're either pressurized to retract and prosecuted, or sometimes they don't even retract and they're still prosecuted. And a number of women from our centre have gone to prison as a result of that. So considering all that, what prisoners say, and are increasingly saying, which is that all prisoners are political prisoners. When you're in prison because you stood up against the powers that be, or the powers that be that came after you, then you're political, and that pretty much covers everyone in prison.
Yeah.